to that. Let's get into the stuff that we want to talk about. But yeah, I mean, this was. I kind of had to describe this match, or if it is a match, or just because it is two matches in in one, really, isn't it? I mean, I kind of like the thing where it's just like this. It's like it was blatantly set up as like a video game of like it's a mix between like 2K, a 2K game, and sort of like a bit of thing like the Raid.
Yeah. Do you remember that Super Bowl advert they did? I think it was in '99. Where it's Austin, Taker, Kane, Rock, Mankind in the WWE headquarters go, oh, we're a non-violent form of entertainment, and then just clock someone with a steel chair.
So basically what you're saying, this whole match was basically like that advert, but just done for nearly an hour.
Yeah, well, someone gets thrown out of a window at the end of it. As well, with Vince McMahon watching on. That person died.
Oh, it's like that famous meme, you know, that one where it's everyone says like they have a business meeting. It's like, oh, and it's like some like Vince's. There's a picture of Vince like going, oh, we should do this. Another guy, well, actually, like, should we do this thing because it makes sense? And then there's a picture of Vince looking at him and chucks him out the window. So it's like maybe it's that. But I mean, the start of this was like I kind of like I liked that the women were down in the lobby and the men's were in the gym for some reason. Yeah, I like the sort of graphics for it as well. Again, it felt like a video game.
That did feel like a video game, yeah. Or kind of, it was either like a video game or like place your bets kind of thing. Have you ever seen the film Rat Race? It's like that kind of thing. It's like, who are you following? Yeah, that's another quite underappreciated comedy film. Very star-studded as well.
Yeah, a lot of people. Anyway. We digress. Anyway, but yeah, this is what I like about it. It's like it's like a start of a race, obviously. But then it's just like I think the person that stood out for me in this match, or on the women's side anyway, was Asuka. Asuka, mate, she was having a time of her life in this match.
I'm quite surprised she didn't get to the top like sooner. She was the only person in the elevator for ages, but she was clever.
Yeah, I just love it. It's just everyone's like heard Oscar's music, and it's just like everyone's looking around. You're like, oh, she's on the balcony, and it's just like they're smart. It's like she done the whole like crossbody from the top of the balcony, and then just like what she do, she didn't like look around. She just went, there's the lift. Just get in the lift.
A little bit of a laugh, a little bit of a taunt into the lift.
Yeah, it literally just felt like two levels. Just if you put this down, this whole match. These whole matches, or two matches, you could put it like you got the first bit at the bottom when you got to the first elevator. Then when you worked the way up to the 10th floor or whatever. I don't know how big WWE headquarters is, and then it's like get to another lift, then it takes you to the top. So it's like it's that. And then the third level is the roof.
Do you remember when Lacey Evans, like at the beginning of her promo, goes, "I've memorized the entirety of the WWE headquarters, so I'm going to get to the roof really quickly." And then she starts asking, like, where's the roof? You don't know where it is. Like, have you just either completely forgotten, or was that just bullshit? You know?
No. Bullshit? Yeah. No. Don't be... You're sitting there saying she said that just for reasons and not because she actually did it? Are you insane? That means that she's got an inconsistent character that makes no sense.
I like the fact that I think not quite sure whether WWE is just learnt like what works better, especially when they're using the environment to their advantage, or whether it's because we mentioned it at the WrestleMania one, is you've got loads of like posters on your walls, you didn't reference them at all, and there's a brilliant bit where AJ's obviously feuding with Rey Mysterio. He's been feuding with Rey Mysterio beforehand anyway. He gets stuck under some barbells. Joe just puts over top of him. He asks Rey to help. Rey doesn't. So then AJ starts trying to go after Rey instead of going after the briefcase. He turns the corner. There's a giant poster of Rey Mysterio, which spooks him. It's like, oh, that's pretty nice. He's trying to find Rey Mysterio in all the different offices, and he turns around, looks, and there's a poster, and it's The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like, oh, that's very well done. For like context, it was lovely, really lovely.
I kind of like that. It's like he's got was it PTSD?
Yeah, exactly.
like it's like if it does feel like that, I kind of like, because it's like when he came back, it was just like it was that situation of just like he's just back. It's not like he was buried alive or anything like that. Almost killed.
Yeah, and again, this could be a long-term booking thing. Does this sow the seeds for eventually AJ challenging the Undertaker at WrestleMania again? But that be Undertaker's retirement match, because they were pressing Undertaker's 5-part documentary, which took place over 3 years. I haven't seen it yet. I want to watch the whole thing in its entirety, like for it all to come out first.
Fair enough.
But yeah, he's obviously he's just got buried alive. He's come back, still traumatizing him. And he comes across the Undertaker room, pretty much. He's got like a coffin in. It's dark. And then he gets locked. Alistair Black locks him in, which is brilliant.
It's a bit weird. I don't know if it's just me noticed it, but it's just like, it's like he closed it. And then it's like it's weird. It's like he looked up, like someone told him to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just like a thing I noticed and I'm looking into it too much, but I don't know if it was like a situation like, maybe might be a tease for like, it's always like an Alistair Black Undertaker thing. But
AJ Styles is phenomenal. He's like the best wrestler in the world, but he's always got something on his mind. Undertaker keeps haunting him, playing those mind games like Undertaker does, well, against everyone really. But again, when the tables were turned slightly, when Randy Orton basically buried him alive or put him in a casket, set on fire, and then Undertaker's just haunting him, which was really lovely. But doing this all year round, like occasionally, maybe like every pay-per-view, there's always a little something which haunts AJ Styles, and that leads them to their match where eventually AJ Styles retires the Undertaker.
I think that wouldn't be the. I mean, from snippets I've seen from the documentary, I've heard that it's like he wants to end it. He wants to end it on a match that feels like it's worthy of.
Yeah,
ending.
I think that's where in that context, I think he was referring to the match with Roman Reigns, and then he came back. But I've not seen it, so who knows?
I'm tempted to just watch it after this recording, hopefully, because obviously I've got a lot of time in my hands. But obviously we've got other things with. There's a lot of stuff here, so it's like I don't want to go beat by beat. That was awesome. You had this like I think it was. I found it kind of funny when it's sort of like when they found itself in the conference room. I think it's the women's side. And they all got in the conference room, and then it's sort of like was it Dana Brooke got the briefcase, and it was full of money that I personally would have taken home with me.
Yeah,
but I guess it's money in the bank anyway. But then the Stephanie McMahon, I think Stephanie McMahon's like sort of like
live via Skype or whatever it is, because she's clearly not there.
I know, but it was. I kind of like the way it was when it's just like it's like a boss walking in going. Like,
it's basically, damn it, Stu, it's on the roof. Weren't you listening?
It didn't feel like that. It's just like, oh. And it's just like, it's like a typical boss response. It was actually quite funny. It was like, and he got, and clean up and get Dana off the floor. She's making a mess.
Nia, she's dribbling everywhere. It's disgusting.
I kind of like that. I mean, we could always talk about the little camp. Yeah, but people that was in there, like you got, was it Brother Love?
Brother Love was in there. Was it Doink the Clown was there as well?
Was that Doink the Clown? That was the most creepiest thing I've ever seen.
Was it Doink the Clown? Because I thought Doink the Clown died. I thought he died years ago.
No, I think that wasn't him.
Was that someone else?
For me, I didn't. Obviously, that's what I thought. But I looked at him. It's like that's not. I wasn't surprised if they just like painted up some random person in that sort of face paint. And sort of like sort of meta, like we understood it, but like it's not. I don't think it's him.
I don't know why Brother Love was there. That was really odd. I like the appearance of John Laurinaitis though. People power, and he gets the pie in the face. It's like, it's like it was like a nice little reminder of just like go away, boof.
Even Otis was like, I'm sitting there eating a pie, and he turns over and I'm just like, go away, mate. Just go away. No one likes you then. No one likes you now. No offense, John. But
and then Paul Heyman at the basically feast, pretty much. And then it was nice when the men and the women they met kind of in the middle, and they established that the match was going on at the same time. Now I was thinking this would make much more sense, and they would up the stakes more And if they still wanted to go ahead when they did years ago about potentially doing some intergender wrestling stuff, if they did a similar kind of thing again, like say next year or how long COVID goes on for, and we have to do Money in the Bank in the same concept, only one briefcase, so everyone's got to fight for it. Any gender, any tag team, anyone can go for it.
I gotta be honest. I was thinking that when it was like they kept in, like they're all started separately, but they all met up. Like we had the bit with in the elevator early on the match, and then they put me up in this like canteen area. But I mean, I kind of like it because it's like we really want to build this sort of equality type stuff, right? That's very good. Yeah, of course, this is the thing we need to do, but it's like it would definitely be like that is the future. It's like it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. It's just that you're all wrestlers, and I think unless they're trying to muddy the waters and tease it, maybe but yeah, no one. I got to be honest, it did get a bit too goofy on me with the Foo Fight thing.
It got a little bit goofy, but man, it got brutal as well. I feel really bad for Rey Mysterio in this match. First of all, especially when we go from that moment, he gets choked out basically by Shayna Baszler, which already like sucks. That's a brutal thing to go through, getting choked out. He is then squashed in between Nia Jax and Otis, and then to literally top it all off, he is toppled off or thrown off, he's thrown off the skyscraper pretty much, and is effectively murdered by King Corbin.
When that happened, the first thing I thought of was that Anchorman reference, when it's just like that whole fight scene they have in the first Anchorman, when it's like when Brick has like killed someone with a trident, and he's like saying, "Oh, I was meaning to tell you about that. I think you should find a loved one, lay low for a while, because you're probably wanted for murder." It's like Corbin has just killed two people. He's
killed Alistair Black as well.
It's like it's just literally that's what I felt like. It is literally like it's not a situation of just like you just like chuck them off the roof.
It's like Rey Mysterio. It's like the cliche like police officer story, because the whole thing with Rey Mysterio was he wants one more like title run because he doesn't know how long he's got left. He's maybe got like a year or so to go. It's like he gets thrown off, he gets brutally murdered, and then you've got this supervisor or superior or whatever goes, damn, he was 1 year away from retirement. Look.
I love that. Actually, yes, make that happen, please. That would be amazing. I mean, all this stuff. We forgot about one thing that I find funny. We talked about the bit when they went into Vince McMahon's office.
Yeah.
Segment. I mean, I gotta be honest. It was weird though, because it was like he was sitting there like for 2 or 3 minutes, just like not reacting. Wouldn't you be like first person someone fighting the office? Wouldn't you be like first? You just turn around quickly, going like looking at him, going, "What the hell are you doing?" But it's like he was waiting. It felt like he was waiting for a cue. Yeah, he was waiting for. It's like, oh, 1, 2. Oh, now I've got to turn around.
That was very very funny. And then the kind of confrontation at the end is like, "You're the one that put the chairs back." "Oh yeah, I did, didn't I?" Then they just started fighting again. When I got a little bit worried. I got a little bit worried towards the end there when obviously Daniel Bryan and AJ go out and they're like bowing, like very 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 sorry. And out they go. And then even though there's been no bodily contact whatsoever, Vince McMahon has the hand sanitizer and he's just cleaning his hands, like, a little reference to what's going on here. But then the horrible thing that came into my mind was, that's not hand sanitizer. He's alone in his office and he's turning around.
No. Why did you have to go there? Why?
Money in the wank.
Oh no! I mean, to be fair, he's always been the guy. Oh God, no! Oh, why, Josh? Why? Anyway, but I mean, we'll talk about the women's part as well. It's like, obviously, I don't know what it is about me, but like, I don't like the idea of like some of the wrestlers getting taken out, like some of the women taken out.
Taken out? What do you mean?
Because obviously you got Carmella got taken out by Nia Jax
through the table
in the food fight segment. Dana Brooke got taken out because she slipped over. Basically slipped on a wet floor.
She looked a bloody idiot in that match. Like, she really forgot where the briefcase was. Thought she'd won it, even though it's on the roof. And then, even though technically she was the only one that complied with continuity, there's a janitor there who's cleaning the floor, People are wrestling across it. They don't slip over. Yet Dana Brooke comes in a minute or so afterwards when everyone's already fought on it and then slips over. It's like, well, fair play. You're the only one that's stuck to the logic there that the floor would be slippery.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just like, I don't like the idea. It's like all the men, when they came up to the roof, were all in the match, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
And then but the women, there were only 3 of them.
Yeah, I was waiting for Shayna Baszler and Carmella to come back up. I expected like Carmella maybe not to be because she was decimated through a table. Okay, fine. But I don't know where Shayna Baszler and Dana Brooke obviously slipped over, twisted her ankle, I guess. I don't know, but no idea where Shayna was. I was expecting her to come out. I was expecting her to come out of the blue, to be honest. Just like kind of jump up behind Asuka, grab hold, put her in the chokehold.
Yeah, and just like win the match out of nowhere. But I mean, she just disappeared. It's like I think they took her out, but then you expect her to come back near the end, but she never did. It's very strange. But they finally got to the roof. Yep. I mean, the women's, it was just sort of a situation of Asuka got there. She got Nia Jax, was who else? Nia Jax and
Nia Jax, Lacey Evans.
Lacey. Yeah, it was just them 3, and it was just a situation of just like, I don't know. It just felt weird. It just like it's like they went through all that, and then it's just like they get to the roof, and it only lasts just like 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, and there's no like ladder spots or anything. No one gets hit with a ladder or from the women's side of things. No one like runs up a ladder, uses a weapon, goes through a ladder, takes a leap off them. Nothing.
I mean, I get that because obviously it's not exactly like really large at the top of that roof because it is quite small. But I don't know. It just felt like they got to the roof and they were like, "Oh, okay, we got to the roof. Okay, it's like looking at their time and going, "Oh crap, we've gone over time. Okay, it's cool. We'll just end it here."
Yeah, it's a 2.5 hour show, 2 hours 20 minutes. You got plenty of time. I was enjoying it. You could have put another 20 minutes on this match. I would have enjoyed it.
But the women's like were, that would have worked. Actually worked actually. But yeah, but just like they felt like for a show that they had so much time, they could have. That bit felt rushed to me. It was like these sort of like finish it. It's like you got fit near the end when sort of like, I like the thing where they got the ladder, but she pushed the ladder down on Nia Jax, so it stops her from getting up. That's quite light, but
I don't know why Asuka was pushing Baron Corbin off. I mean, no one wants Baron Corbin to win the match, so fair play. But why she was pushing the male competitors off the ladder, that made no sense. Unless, of course, there was only one briefcase.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. Or maybe it's just, maybe she was just reacting like we all think of Baron Corbin.
Like, oh God, no, anyone but you.
But that's what it felt like. It was just like, I'm trying to get... For me, it felt like Asuka was like, oh, for God's sake, man, I'm trying to win this match, and you've decided to come and kick him in the face. Like, go away. Yeah.
I was expecting like green mist or something.
That would have been even more funnier.
Green mist, he stumbles back and he falls off the tower.
Yeah, and then like and then we just got to do 3 funerals. That's probably too close to home, I guess. But so we'll see Asuka after that, and then Asuka climbed, got the briefcase, and I have never heard Michael Cole be so not happy about it. It was so bland.
It was that kind of thing. It's the sort of kind of line that was like taken from a recording of the 2K video games. It's like, we have a winner here.
Yeah, I just had that.
And Asuka has the win. It's very just like, oh, no emotion whatsoever. It's like the ending of when you've concluded a match on one of those wrestling games.
Yeah, it's like when you've won the title, and it's just like, oh, you've won the title.
We have a new world champion.
Yeah, it felt, I don't know, monotone, if that's the word. Yeah, it just felt like, oh, I just had to... It felt like he just had to do it.
What another incredible match.
I mean, I get it if it was pre-recorded, because obviously it was, but I mean, it's just like, put a bit more effort, man. But it's only a nitpick. But I mean, Asuka winning it, it's fine. I mean, because obviously you had a situation of it was either her or Shayna Baszler. Yeah. But I just for me, it just like feels like Shayna Baszler's just once again... Another wrestler from XT it's become like everybody else. Yeah,
it's got, oh, you're the MMA wrestler. All right, like the kind of credible threat is kind of gone now. I guess she's just going to continue to feud next with Becky. Surely, then that's the next thing they've got to do with her. Surely.
I mean, what I've heard is obviously they bigged it up in the bigged it up. Where it's like she's going to confront the Money in the Bank winner.
Yeah.
But I mean, Oscar and Becky Lynch have had good matches, so it wouldn't have been totally bad. But
No.
it just for me, it was just like another example of someone coming up in the main roster. They're awesome. They've been big builds. You know, they've got they could probably push them to the moon.
Yeah.
And then they give one loss that made no sense. And then put them in a Money in the Bank match, and they don't win it. It just she just become. Obviously, they can build her up again, but it's just like she's become like everybody else, and it's again frustrating. But Oscar winning it doesn't bother me really, but it's more about Shayna Baszler for me that should have won this match, or should have at least be in the ring when it happened.
Yeah, I have no idea where she got to. Probably too busy choking someone out, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. Or maybe she just thought, what am I doing here? Let's go home.
So I'm going to go back to NXT.
I don't know.
Just do that.
She should. She really should. I mean, especially with Charlotte being there now. And obviously you got Io Shirai and all kinds of people in there. Like, literally, it's that division as always in NXT is amazing. It's always been good. So if you imagine Charlotte that's what I mean. It's like NXT is like the standard of good wrestling, and you know how to book their stars. It's not as good. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still quite solid.
Speaking of NXT, very quickly, think something you should check out if you haven't done so already. Have you seen Killer Cross's debut?
I've seen a video of it. I've seen his theme.
Yeah, his theme with Scarlett Bordeaux, or just Scarlett, and she's lip syncing, which I thought was a little bit cheesy. And on the second watch, okay, I can see that working. And then the big old lights, display out. Okay, yeah, I can see that chant kind of potentially working. I'm
loving that tune. I mean, first hearing it, I was like, I like this is that kind of music is sort of like totally catered to people like you and me that love that kind of stuff, right? It's similar to Aleister Black's type tunes.
Similar to Aleister Black, there's elements of I think We Are Catalyst, on the bands there. A little bit of not Amaranth, but those kind of melodic kind of metal bands. Where you've got usually a pop kind of singer and a metal kind of vocalist. Yeah,
I mean, I think I have to listen to it again because I only heard glimpses of it, but it did sound good.
It's a good theme.
But
it's a good theme.
Yeah, I mean, but NXT I should be checking out anyway. So, but anyway, but obviously we've got the women's. Obviously, you had the men's one. It was just near the end. It was just like they all got there in the end. Obviously, we talked about Baron Corbin committed 2 counts of murder.
But he's a king, so he'll get away with it.
God, if they didn't try to, if it wasn't a PG show and they weren't trying, they can't exactly say murder to kids. It would be funny. It's like, I murdered some people. Yeah. I've done some shit.
You legitimately don't see them for weeks and months. Like, I think they're actually dead.
I literally killed them. They're nowhere to be found.
Good God Almighty! Good God Almighty! He killed him.
You bastard! Yeah, you killed Kenny. You bastard! Oh God! But now, just this whole. I think I like sort of the thing with the whole thing with like Aleister Black came in. He just hit the black mass kick when he came in. It was quite cool.
Straight down. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really know. Like, I mean, it was a cool bit. Like, this match was always taken to AJ to win it because when he was put into it, you knew he was gonna it's gonna be AJ that wins this, right?
I didn't expect Otis to win it. I would have liked Aleister. Obviously, I would have liked Aleister. I would have liked Aleister Black to win it because that makes kind of sense. If someone's down, they've just had a Herbert match. Aleister Black just comes down. He just sits down as he does, holding the briefcase. Just stands up, black mass, down you go, 1, 2, 3. I could see that working completely. Or AJ doing it, potentially, and then the Undertaker still haunt him. I think all the events of the Boneyard match.
But I mean that ending. I mean, we've got to talk about that ending, obviously. But it's like this situation where it's both. Was it Corbin and AJ Styles climbing up both sides of the ladder, and obviously Elias just turned up because reasons, because So yeah, and then obviously they're both fighting for the briefcase, and obviously the Young clipped it. I'm sure AJ had it for a second, so doesn't technically that mean he won?
I guess that might be
he was
something
holding
they
the
do,
briefcase,
but they're on different brands, so probably not. But did you hear about what they might be potentially doing with Otis?
No, I am intrigued. What is the rumored plan?
So apparently there was an interview with him. Takes a pinch of salt. I don't know what the source was, but he's going to use it because he's still in the tag team with Tucker. He wants to use it on the tag team. Okay. I guess you could use it on the tag team because you can use it for any championship title, but surely you'd go for the world title, wouldn't you?
Didn't they tease? I think they. I think I remember seeing an interview with him and Maddie Rose. I think they did tease that he'd catch over any championship, but then doesn't it degrade the sort of importance of winning it? Wouldn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, and you're just gonna use it on the tag team, especially when I guess he's doing it to show that the tag teams really mean something. I mean, that's why the Revival left, for God's sake. It wasn't that they were it was part of the way they were booked, but the tag teams in general, how it was booked, it felt like it didn't mean anything.
No, I mean, if you see the pictures of that was released online, it's sort of what they wanted them to be wearing,
and that it wasn't like a parody or anything. It was a legitimate thing to come out. I was like, are you kidding me? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. Yeah. But did you hear the logic behind it of why they did that? Why they created that idea? Because they wanted to go for the angle about the Revival being fed up with people thinking that the tag team division is a joke. So they're just going to treat it as a joke. So they're just going to dress silly, have all the glow sticks, rap, all sorts, It's like, okay, I can sort of understand that logic, but that's not who the Revival are. I mean, they can do comedy, but their strength is that good old classic Mid-South kind of NWA old school wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, because it's kind of needed, because obviously you're sitting there seeing in other divisions, like obviously in AEW, that's, I think, killing it when it comes to their tag team wrestling. They fit right in with that, to be fair. But I mean, no, I don't. Otis, mate, no. I mean, I gotta be honest. I don't. This might sound really harsh, but when AJ had the briefcase, then he slipped and Otis catched it. I've never laughed so hard in my life. I don't know why it made me laugh. It's just I'm sitting there at 2:00 in the morning, just sitting there laughing. Like I think it was more like they've given it to Otis.
Yeah,
really.
I was quite surprised there's no kind of backlash or whatever. If Otis caught it, maybe AJ just trying to snatch it back, trying to wrestle it back, perhaps. But there was nothing. It's like when Shayna Baszler lost to Becky Lynch. She was just kind of in the corner, like, oh my god, oh no, sad, oh no, oh well, out the ring I go. It's like, no, you'd be pissed off. You'd try and attack back or try and snatch the briefcase, whatever. I mean, you're surrounded by ladders. Smack them with a thing, something.
I know. I know. It's just I don't. This is going to sound really disrespectful, and it's not because of I don't like Otis as a character.
No,
because I really do. He's hilarious. I think he's probably the best character they've had in a long time.
Yeah.
But I mean, Mr. Money in the Bank,
potential world champion.
I mean, no. I mean, it's not nothing against the guy, but I don't know what it is. It's just that you need a lot of work.
Yeah.
To convince me that he could become world champion. It's not because disrespect for him, because obviously everyone wants to be a world champion, but you kind of have to work on it. And maybe you could do if now he's got the briefcase, but it's just it's like sitting there saying, like, per example, like everyone liked the Scotty 2 Hotty with the worm, right? Yeah, he was popular back then, but you don't give him world title matches.
No. Well, it's like The Rock or the People's Elbow, and you don't give him. Oh wait.
But it's no, man. Come on,
get out of that one.
But you comparing The Rock to Otis?
No, entertaining, not as entertaining. Yeah,
No, but the point is, it's just like it's too early. And if it was,
Yeah.
if they didn't, what worries me, they didn't do that because he have any plans for him. They did it because they wanted to swerve us in some way.
Something different.
Just when you think you've got all the answers, we'll change.
Again, there's nothing wrong with predictability, so long as it's good booking and it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, maybe on Friday when they go back or SmackDown, you might explain it. But I think why I was laughing was just like sort of the ridiculous. I was like, no,
Otis is world champion. Sorry, no.
No. I mean, it would be. It's one of those things you can sit there. If it happened, you'd be like, "Yay, I like Otis," because it's a good moment. But then when 2 seconds later you realise like, what the hell? But yeah, I mean, we when it comes to prediction wise, we totally got this wrong.
Yeah, we got this completely wrong. Although we didn't do too badly.
No, I saw the scores. Obviously, I think we would have done 10 times better with we got the Money in the Bank winners, because we pretty much got most of them right.
Pretty much, I think only a handful of people got only just one. I don't think anyone predicted Otis. I think a couple of people may have got Asuka.
I mean, at least Asuka wasn't a complete surprise. No. I mean, it was more like but it wasn't like a confused face. Like,
yeah, it was either Asuka or Shayna Baszler. That made sense. Obviously, I preferred Shayna. That it makes more sense for Shayna. She needs it.
But I mean, take it. Now we always talked about the whole thing. What do you think of this match? I don't know what to think about it. I have no idea.
I thought it was a good step in a direction where, in terms of pre-recorded stuff. I thought it was much better than the Last Man Standing match, which went on for an age, and they just kind of stayed in the same room for ages doing kind of the same thing. This was very well paced. I thought at the end it was just kind of too rushed. They did too little. They should have done more with using the ladder, and making that a big importance. That the ladder, you've got to climb a ladder to get the briefcase. And played that a lot more. But I actually enjoyed this match. I liked that they merged the two matches together. They had scope to do more things. You could have had, for example, Baron Corbin and Shayna Baszler working together. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Well,
we did have that. We did have that bit halfway through the match. We had Nia Jax and Otis, was just staring.
Yeah,
down.
We'd see that.
I mean, I don't know if they're teasing it. I mean, again, I'm not saying Nia Jax versus Otis is a match I want to see, but I mean, I gotta be honest, it isn't a match I want to see. But I've always wanted they've been teasing it for a year or so now, a couple of years. When he had the thing like Becky, John Cena, and sort of and sort of the rumors of having Seth versus Becky or something, or that kind of stuff. It's it could work. I think the problem is it's just everyone sort of looks at it because it's the women versus the men. It's I think it could work. I mean, it kind of worked for China back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she wasn't the greatest wrestler in the world, but
she had the look. You go, my God, she's bigger than most average guys, I guess, or slightly a lot more muscular, a lot more leaner. So yeah, for sure. And you had glorious moments. One of the best matches at WrestleMania a couple of years ago was the tag team match with Kurt Angle and Ronda and Triple H and Stephanie. And it was great because you had Kurt Angle beating up Stephanie McMahon and you had Ronda Rousey kicking the crap out of Triple H. It was glorious. It was wonderful. It ticked all the boxes.
I might go back and watch that match at some point. That really was a good match.
It was great fun, that one.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I kind of like the idea because I think it's the way to go. I think it's, if you really want to have true, I know, look at us getting all political and sort of philosophy, but if you want to get to that point where it's you treat the men and women the same, this is the way to go. The proof that they're not just men and women wrestlers, they're just wrestlers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if it's just we'll try and look into it too much. It probably is. But, I mean, it seems like they teased it quite nicely. And it looked quite... I was watching that match thinking the same as you said earlier. It was just I wonder if it was just one briefcase.
Yeah.
Then it'd be even more interesting.
And they've all got to compete for it. Nah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's Maybe do like a tease for like maybe not to do Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
but sort of do it for like a title match.
Mhm.
Maybe do like a thing where it's like put the, I don't know, the Intercontinental title or something, or title where in a ladder match and then put men and women in it.
Potentially.
Maybe.
I like the idea of it's the briefcase because then it's literally anyone can win that.
Yeah, I mean we've already had it last year with Tessa Blanchard.
Tessa Blanchard,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. When she won the world title, Impact.
Yep.
That was like, I know it's not the first time a person won, but it was just like, it was kind of like a milestone that you can.
And most recently, if you haven't seen it already, Will Ospreay and B Priestley, lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be done. I think it's just you got to change that kind of mindset of sort of like, but women versus a man, sort of like kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It can be done because we live fucking wrestling, man. It's the perfect medium for it.
Because I was watching in that match with Will and B. The part of me was like, oh, that might have been a bit too far. But then looking back on, and you think, oh wait, it's just wrestling. It's not real. Like Will Ospreay hasn't actually elbowed this woman in the back of the head, knocking her out with this strike. That's not actually happened. This is there may have been a bit of contact, but there's certainly some kind of give.
No, but it's the old like sort of is that thing. It's just, you can't do that to a woman. It's like obviously not, but in a competitive wrestling match,
it's context. Context is key.
Yes. Oh yeah, I wish that's a T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's a T-shirt there. Like that's a slogan.
Yeah.
Context
is key.
Because anyway, but anyway, but yeah. So this whole pay per view, I mean, only 2 hours ish long. What's your thoughts on it? Did you think it was all around and really fun to watch?
I think it was a fun show. I enjoyed it. The only match which shouldn't have been there was R-Truth and Lashley. There are one or two things on the Money in the Bank ladder match they could have done slightly better, but